You are listening to the Special Needs Children podcast with Chitra Iyer. References to a child as him or her in this podcast are meant to be gender neutral. Chitra Iyer is a parent of a 21-year-old Chitra Iyer who has epilepsy, cerebral palsy and autism. She is the CEO of MFA and has been helping families with life-centered planning to reach their personal financial goals. She is also a trustee of a parent support group, the Forum for Autism, which was set up almost 2 decades ago. MFA is a 15-year-old wealth management company which has set up a special practice to help in the planning for families of children with disabilities. The thoughts shared here are a result of discussions with parents, caregivers, siblings, and professionals regarding the planning of a person with special needs. This podcast, in this series, the Special Needs Children podcast with Chitra Iyer, addresses taking the first step in your focused planning to set financial goals for your family.
Hi. My child will need money for his healthcare as he ages. And I will need someone to look after him too. How can I estimate today how much will be required for his lifetime? I would like to set aside this money for him in some investment, so that there is sufficient funding for his lifetime. How do I begin to do all of this? Can you guide me? These are questions I hear again and again. You become aware that your situation is special and you need to do something different to provide adequate security for your child. This is when your journey to find out solutions to live a stress-free and financially happy life begins. This kind of planning aims to give much needed direction to parents to secure their child's future. I shared in my first podcast the actions that parents need to take once they realize their needs are unique. Parents should talk and discuss with family members, friends, caregivers about their child. They should start discussions about what is happening currently and estimate the needs of their child in the future. In the second podcast, I mentioned that there should be no delay in starting to save and invest for your child. Start small, be disciplined, try not to do this on your own. Take help from specialists who work with families with special needs children, who understand your situation, and make time to understand how to work things out better. In this podcast, I will share how to begin this step by step, irrespective of how old or young your child is. Let me explain this as simply as possible. You can take the first step in your focused planning with me. I request you to get a pen and paper to make this easier as you listen and make some notes based on what I share. We are now going to set financial goals for your family. Let us write down 3 important goals that we will need money for. The first goal is the money required for your child's lifetime needs. The second goal is to provide for any health-related medical emergency throughout his life. And the third is to provide money for people who will watch over him. Let us try to understand the necessity of writing these goals first. Today your child lives with you. You provide for everything as a parent: food, clothing, shelter, therapy, entertainment, travel, medication, gadgets, and so on. You can estimate the monthly expense for him quite accurately in today's money terms. Based on this, we can factor in inflation and estimate how much he will need for the future. Now just pause and think 10, 20, 30 years into the future. You may retire at your age of 60. Your income will stop and you will need to start withdrawing money from your investments for your daily needs. When you retire, where will your child stay? Will he continue living with you? He will be older too, say 30, 40 years of age. Do you think you will need assistance to take care of him physically? Do you think he will live independently with some friends in an apartment? Do you think he will need some assistance while he stays alone in another city perhaps? These are discussions you should start having with immediate family, circle of friends who know you and him very well. in your parent support group, with therapists who know you and can help foresee how skilled he will become. You may be training him to work and earn a salary in a government or a corporate job. He may be part of a business actively contributing there. He may be part of a vocational center or may have set up a business on his own. Or he may not be able to earn any money at all. Some children may be ready to discuss this with their parents if they can articulate what they wish for their own future. To summarize, writing down goals would mean stating the need, that is, living expenses, specifying the time from age 40 to 80 or 90 of the child, noting down how much, say 25,000 per month. Each goal should have a name of the goal, the time frame, and the exact amount needed. This definitely gives you clarity on what you have to work towards fulfilling. Let me share our story with you. My husband Ravi and I are 50 years of age, and our son Shravan is 20. We will continue working till we turn 60 at least, if not longer, till we turn 70, or maybe never stop working, as both of us love what we do. Hence, at age 60, assuming that our income may stop, our son will be 30 years old, and we will have to start withdrawing money from our investments for our daily needs. Now, we had to write down how much we need to provide for monthly expenses for Shravan and us. After private discussion with cousins and our brothers and sisters, we first decided with the family that Shravan will continue living in the same house as currently, even after us, for the rest of his life. We then began writing down how much we need for Shravan today. I will request you to write down these expense headings in your notepad to make it easier. So I repeat, age of husband 50, wife 50, son 20 today. We will retire at the age of 60. Now we list the expenses broadly under 4 different headings. First, the day-to-day living expenses of Shravan when he is 30 years old. He will need someone to clean the house, cook for him, pay the building maintenance. Second, travel-related expenses. Third, medical expenses. Fourth, training or therapy or an assistance costs and such other costs. So for Shravan, we identified his daily expenses at 10,000 per month, plus medical expenses at 10,000 per month, and additionally, his homeschooling expenses are currently at 30,000 per month, which we would like to continue. We arrived at a requirement of rupees 50,000 per month as the need for Shravan in today's times, the inflated value of which we will need when we retire. Similarly, for us, we identified our living expenses at 2 lakhs per month, annual travel related expenses at 5 lakhs. So we have written down 3 goals until now: Shravan's monthly expenses, our monthly expenses, and our vacation needs. Next, I needed to provide for Shravan's health related issues. He has to undergo various checkups annually. We know that the health insurance for our children is not easily available, barring a lakh annual cover under Niramaya. There is a chance of claim rejection or the cover is not enough. Shravan does not have a cover in place, and we do not want to be dependent on any health insurance. Hence, I would prefer to set up a health corpus for him. We would like to keep a corpus of 10 lakhs for him at all points of time. This is the 4th goal. Just as we decided to provide for Shravan's health corpus, we set aside a corpus for ourselves too. Even after retirement, as we age, we see that health insurance policies are very expensive. For every 1 lakh cover, we are charged 10,000 rupees. If someone has a rupee 10 lakh cover, they will be charged a premium of 1 lakh per annum. Plus, there are co-payment laws where senior citizens have to pay 30 to 40% of the expenses from their pocket. Very often, it is difficult to renew policies. Very often, claims get rejected. Hence, as a 5th goal, we decided to set aside a sum of 20 lakhs for ourselves too as a health corpus. Our 6th goal was to provide for an attendant or helper to watch Shravan. We provided Rs 30,000 per month for this need. This is the administrative amount required if Shravan were to live alone or in any other residential home. This would be the bare minimum we would have to pay for a 24-hour attendant to look after his needs. Alternatively, after I pass away, since I've created a trust and appointed trustees, they would take care of my child. The trustee may have to be compensated to take care of my child throughout his life. Even if trustees are family or friends who refuse to take any fees, there could be some costs that need to be provided for. So I have listed 6 goals. Shravan's monthly expenses, our monthly expenses, his health corpus, our health corpus, our vacation need, and his administrative expense for the future. These are the basic needs of life I feel any family with special needs would need to plan for. Through our story, I wanted to share how you need to plan for your goals. Each family's situation is unique. I request you to make changes to your goals based on what you are facing in life. Do write down these needs as the first step of planning for your child and yourself. The resources to achieve these goals will be very different for each one of us. But I can say this for sure. I can show you how a family will be able to meet all their goals by planning for them meticulously. In my next podcast, I will share the second step in life-centered planning. How much do you need to save to achieve your goals? Thank you.
You were listening to the Special Needs Children podcast with Chitra Iyer, the CEO of MFA and a trustee with the Forum for Autism. If you find this podcast relevant and interesting, it will be great if you leave a review, share, like, and subscribe. You could also let us know if there is any specific topic that you would like us to cover. Feel free to email her on chitra.iyer@myfinad.com, or you can call her on 9833 785 892. That is 9833 785 892.